Let's take a look at our top selections for Dan Illman, Mike Beer, taking a look at the feature race at Aqueduct on Saturday. We'll throw up the 5 3-year-old fillies getting set to contest the 3/4 mile, $100,000 Cicada Stakes. Not a big field, Mike. These 3-year-old fillies have speed. Now we're going to see how much class they have.
Yeah, there's a bunch of horses getting tested in here, Dan. Again, it's one of those, we've seen a lot of these stakes races over the winter here in New York with short fields. But again, I think it's a pretty competitive one. I mean, outside of the horse on the rail, who's pretty hard to make, I thought any one of the other 4 horses you could make a case for.
The undefeated number 4, Save, 2 for 2 in her short career down at the fairgrounds for Tom Amoss, is the expected pace setter according to Timeform US. We throw up the pace projector and we see Save on an advantageous blue bar scenario, a race which favors horses on or near the early lead. That being said, Irish Constitution's a pretty quick horse, Mike, and something tells me if I was on Irish Constitution, I would take the race to this interloper.
I agree with you. They should be sending with Irish Constitution in here. She's back on relatively short rest in this race, but she's a speed horse. They got to go with her. And listen, certainly Save is very lightly raced, and she's been right up there on the pace in her first 2 starts. But it's not like those were races where they were blazing early.
Exogen is a deserved long shot, and she'll be up against it from a pace standpoint as well as a speed figure. In 4 lifetime starts, her best buyer is a 43, and that's just not going to do it. But she ran well last time out in a starter optional claiming race, her first start as a 3-year-old. We'll take a look at that race right now, and she grinds it down and wins it at 5-1. I thought visually this was a fine performance over a wet track, but she needs to improve from the buyer scale about 40 points.
Yeah, I mean, she's very game to get the job done in here. And listen, she is 2 for 4 in her career, but she looks like she's been way over her head against this field.
New York bred Irish Constitution, stakes placed against fellow statebreds, might be ready to roll in her 3rd start since October off of this race. Career best buyer performance. It was a 74 against non-winners of one other than New York bred company, and she just blew them away on the turn. She kept right on going, and I thought she set a legitimate pace all the way around.
Yeah, and it's a new top figure for her in this race. Listen, all in all, she did what she was supposed to do in here, Dan. This was a race. Again, it's relatively short rest for her, but this was a spot where the 2 favorites on the morning line for that race both scratched, and it just left a very short field in here with no other speed to go with Irish Constitution. She did what she was supposed to do. This race is much tougher for her.
It'll be the first New York start for the Linda Rice-trained number 3 Salt Plage. Let's watch her stakes debut. She was 3rd in the wide country at Laurel, going 7/8 of a mile. I thought this was a day where the rail wasn't great, and she saved ground early. She's now, it looks like, getting to the better part of the track, but we see the leader drifting. She's going to get back down inside that deeper inside footing, and I wonder if it cost her the place.
That's an interesting thing to take note of. I thought she ran well in this race again, Dan. I think she's run well in all 3 of her starts. I guess I could argue, I don't know if you would agree with this or not, but the horses that ran 1-2 in that race, if they were back in here, either one of them would be the favorite. They're both pretty good. I thought this filly ran well last time. I liked her first 2 starts as well, and I just like her running style. She's not a speed horse, but she breaks very alertly from the gate, and she never gets outrun.
Fraudulent Charge came back to run a good second in the Beyond the Wire Stakes at Laurel with an 80 buyer. Just missed there. And Street Loot, of course, the Maryland-bred 2-year-old champion filly of 2020. Here's Save, the number 4, 2 races, 2 legitimate buyer speed figures, a pace-pressing maiden win as the big favorite last time out against a questionable field, perhaps. She battled on the lead, took over on the turn, got out a little bit in the stretch, but kept on going. Kendrick Carmouche has options breaking outside of the other speed. I think they'd probably like to be on the lead, but if Irish Constitution hustles, they'll try to sit a trip as she did in her debut.
Yeah, she just sat up there on the pace first time out and was pretty comfortable doing that. Again, I don't have anything really bad to say about her, Dan. She's looked fine winning her first 2 starts. I do feel like maybe this is a tougher race for her, though. And as the morning line favorite, probably a short price in this race, I'll try to beat her.
And the 5 just reads the dirtied up horse in the field because she earned a fig 2 starts back that makes her extremely competitive with these. That was a race at Aqueduct going 3/4 of a mile where she just blew away open maidens. Now, kind of a questionable spot last time out. They ran her on synthetic in the Cincinnati Trophy. She didn't fire, and I'm willing to just completely draw a line through that race.
Yeah, I think I would too. I'm not sure what the idea was to ship her down there and run her, but it didn't work out. Her race two back was actually very good. I don't think she beat a good field that day, Dan, but she really ran in that race. And even her debut, I think, is better than it looks. That was a good rail day. She did spend a lot of time inside, but the horse that won that race was a Wesley Ward first-time starter that really got bet. This horse chased her for a long time and only got out-finished for second by a couple of closers late.
Let's take a look at our top picks for the Cicada. Mike, you're going with Just Read It on the outside. Again, I'm not going to put too much stock in the synthetic race. Her race two back puts her right in the mix, and she's going to be the best price of the main protagonists in here. To me, short price, slow pace, that works in saves. To saves benefit, she might be tough to catch if she has the lead turning for home.
Yeah, I mean, she's probably the horse to beat in here. I had it down between the 3 and the 5, Dan. I wasn't sure which way to go between Salt Plage and Just Read It, but I like Just Read It's maiden win. I'll give her the chance to rebound.
Same super, different order. 5-3-4-2 for Mike, 4-3-2-5 for me, and your feature at the Big A on Saturday. Good luck.